welcome to episode 7 of the best episodes of Credit 101. In episode 7, we're going to basically talk about episode 18, where we talked about civil judgments and also tax liens. Both of which should not be on your credit report. But just in case you guys have the unfortunate event of it actually being on your credit report, I created a dispute letter that you all can use to remove this from your credit report. Now, remember, with all dispute letters, you have to figure out what bureau is reporting it or where did you see this information. And I don't always want to say TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian, because we have to think about third-party bureaus too, because a lot of companies are going to them to get information. So we can't just worry about TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian. So whoever has your information, that's where you want to really send this dispute letter to. If it's as simple as TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian, then okay, fine, send it to whoever is reporting it. But again, whoever is reporting it, wherever you was able to even see that you even had this reporting, that's who you actually want to basically send this letter to. Let me stop talking so much. Let's actually look at it. This video should be, you should have it, you should be watching this in the membership. If you're watching it because it's on YouTube, we have the membership for free where you're able to let me backtrack. It's not free. You have a 7-day $1 trial. The link is down below in the comments and also in the description, and then it's $9.99 per month. It's not for free. But if you have the membership, then you can get all of this stuff. It's already a part of your membership, so it's no additional fee to you. So let's go ahead and check out this form, this dispute letter, for whoever want to send it out. So I'm going to go and tell you guys exactly what you need to put on it. I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom because that's just information. If you're part of the membership, you already know what's on there. Download it. Below, you can see exactly what's down there. Leave that information the same that's down there. That's the information that the company needs to read to let them know why this account should be removed. All you need to do is put your name at the bottom. So remove the part that says your name and then actually put your name down there at the bottom. So let's start filling this out. So right here, you'll need to put your name, your address, your email address, and your phone number, and then the date. Whatever date you're mailing this out, put the date right here. And then whatever credit bureau it is, put their name here and their address. If you guys don't know the address to any of the credit bureaus, then you guys can literally Google it. Seriously, because you got to think you're not sometimes going to be talking about just TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. We're going to be talking about third-party companies that can have a credit report for you. So you need to get their address. So just get used to Google and stuff. Google is your best friend. I learned that as a kid, and I think it made me very successful from knowing that Google is my best friend. So once you have their address, you put all the information in. So request for removal of inaccurate information, tax liens, and judgment. If it's just tax lien, just put a tax lien. If it's judgment, put a judgment. Or you can just leave it just like this too, if it's basically both. Put your name, not your name, put the credit bureau name here. So it should be whatever you put right here, you should put that information here. Now, this is what it's very, very important. This is what you got to make sure you fill out correct so they can find this account that you're talking about in their system. A lot of times this stuff is automated, you guys. So we have to make sure that we need to do, put our correct information is, put the correct information in, just in case you ever think about suing them. You don't talk to an attorney, but just in case you think about suing them because they not do what they do, you have everything referenced, right? So if it's the tax lien, then you can just leave the tax lien here and copy your account number or reference number there. And the same thing for judgment. Remove this information. You see where it says item 1, item 2. You necessarily don't have to put that there. You can just go straight with, hey, tax lien. You can do 2 tax liens or whatever it is. Just list them all here. And just the biggest part is whatever your account number or reference number is. Again, I want you all to keep the rest of the information down at the bottom, just like it is. And at the bottom, for those people that already got the membership, you got it in front of you. Once you have this filled out, what I want you to do is I want you to look at the bottom and just put your name. You see where it says your full name down at the bottom for those people that have the membership. That's where you want to actually just put your full name on there. So just keep all of this information the same. And I always tell people, whenever you're sending out any type of letters, especially letters about this stuff is very, very important. And with bad credit reporting, if they're going against the FCRA, then that's the reason why I sued a company before. So, and I would think that people will want to go after these companies that's not removing these accounts. So eventually you could just get this account removed instead of just settling and keeping it there on your credit reports. Now, whenever you send out a letter, make sure you guys send it via certified mail. So all of your letters need to be sent via certified mail. Once you send it via certified mail, hopefully within the 30 days, the account is deleted. If it is not deleted, I do have a response letter within the membership. So definitely look at the episodes, the best episodes of Credit 101. Once you get in your membership, you'll see the 30 different episodes there. You'll see which one has the response letter. You can send that response letter, because it was one I put for just the credit bureaus or whoever it was, a response to what they sent you or what they did not send you. I have a personalized response letter. You guys can use that response letter to say, hey, why haven't you deleted this from my credit report? Or hey, why haven't you responded at all? Depending on their situation, some they might not even respond at all, which is crazy. But that's why I tell people to send it certified, because listen, when y'all send it certified mail, it don't matter technically if they're going to respond or not, because one of the things with the FCRA, they got 30 days to respond. So if they do not respond in them 30 days, that's good, because we can track and say, hey, you got the letter and you did not respond. All these accounts need to be deleted from my credit reports immediately. And again, you have the tracking, so they can not say we never got your letter. Like, what are you talking about? Okay. Now, when you send a certified mail, you want to know when it actually gets there too. So I want you guys to look at this tracking number on here. Can y'all see that tracking number right here at the top? That's the number that you want to put into a website to do tracking. And you know what? I might be able to show you all here, just in case you guys don't know like how to do the tracking. I just literally go to Google, United States Postal Service, and then tracking. So let me show you the actual website. Okay, perfect. Here it is here. Okay, so let me show you the actual website. So this is what the website is going to look like when you guys do your tracking. So this tracking number, again, that tracking number that's right there at the top, you want to actually type that number in here, and then they'll tell you whether it was delivered. If it's still in transit, they'll tell you exactly when it was delivered, to like the date and time it was delivered, because again, they got 30 days to respond to your dispute, basically. So I always say, hey, 31 days after this, or 30 days after this, literally just say, okay, you got it today, I'm going to give you 30 days. That 31st day, that's when you want to see if that account is still on whatever bureau you've seen it on. If it was on if it was with TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian, do annualcreditreport.com and get a copy of your dispute. I mean, not your dispute letter, your credit report there, and it's free, because that's your actual bureau. It's not like a third-party vendor. You can start off saying it was with a third party, but when you actually go ahead and check again on annualcreditreport.com, if it's still there, then they never deleted it. And that will be good proof, too, that you can have saying they're not doing what they need to do. But if they say that they did not get that letter after a week, you need to figure out what's going on with that letter too. Like when you're doing your certified mail, you need to figure out exactly what's going on with this. And I suggest sending another one, because with the certified mail, the sad part about it is if a letter never gets delivered, they're not going to give you a refund. So you really need to get that letter delivered. So I suggest you send it out again. But I hope this is helpful. Let's go on to the next episodes. If you don't have the membership, look down below. It's a 7-day trial for just $1. It has over 40 downloadables. You'll see the bonus episode that you see here, plus all the other episodes. And then you have no ads, especially if you guys are watching it on YouTube and you don't have the premium. You have no ads within the course. And these dispute letters and stuff like that is literally worth more than $10 a month, basically. But definitely check it out. I made it all for you guys, and plus my family too. So definitely check it out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey, welcome to episode 8 of the best episodes of Credit 101. In this episode, we're going to talk about how you can actually get your credit score for free. Yes, I said it, free. So for those people that like to look at their credit scores because they need to know what their credit looks like at all times, they kind of obsessed like me, you want to see different angles of your credit score, then this is going to be perfect for you. I remember when I first started getting into credit deeper. I had nothing else to do at the time. I got deeper into credit. It was me and my friend Jasmine, and we were always going back and forth, talk about which credit cards we got approved for. And then also we were talking about the different places where you get your credit scores. This was years ago. That's when I was really obsessed with credit. So I kind of want to tell you guys about different places because maybe you're obsessed like me, and you need to know exactly where to get it, and not only just get it, but get it for free too, because that is huge. Who wants to pay for that credit score? If that's the case, I don't need to know what it is all the time. I just need to know what it is right before I apply for something to make sure I have the right score. So I created a document for those people that's in the Credit 101 membership. You're probably watching me there. The document is down below. You can download the document. It has 7 different places you guys can search to get these free credit scores. One of the places, which is number 5, that's unlimited. Okay, that's unlimited. It's just, if this happened, then you should be able to get your credit score. And so you really have so many places you can get your credit score from if you want to know what your credit score, your actual credit score is. Don't forget, we have the FICO, we got this Vantage score, we have a lot of different credit scores. Some companies come up with their own algorithm to figure out what your credit score is. They just ask for the actual credit report. Once the credit report is pulled in, they use their own data points and things that they want to form a credit score for you. So it may be different in different places. Don't be discouraged. Just know what it is. Just know that's what it is. You got different credit scores, and keep it pushing. Okay, so let's actually look at where you can get your credit scores. I'm going to go over 2 of them for now. If you guys don't have a membership, get the $1 trial for the first 7 days, and it's $9.99 after that. That's cheaper than fast food. Like, seriously, I made it so affordable so that anybody can do it, because I remember where I came from. So it's no reason why people can't pay $10 a month for this. So let's actually go ahead and check it out. So the first place I wanted to talk to you guys about is Aura. So Aura actually give you a 14-day free trial. Aura is actually good for your credit monitoring. Also, identity theft, they're big on that. And alerts is really like fraud alerts. So this is to make sure that you guys are not having any fraud going on your credit reports, or even with your accounts too. But they have a 14-day free trial. So definitely check out Aura. Just go to aura.com/Rickita to make sure you guys can get that 14-day free trial. And keep in mind, they're going to tell you what your credit score is, and it is free for the first 14 days. After that, depending on what plan you choose, they are going to charge you. Now, the second place we want to talk about is Credit Karma. Credit Karma is going to tell you your TransUnion and your Equifax credit scores. Usually, they've been updating every day, at least once a week too for Equifax, but usually every day. And you don't need a credit card. This is like basic. Just get in there, know what your credit score is. When I used to help people for free, not try to, because we do what we need to do, get access to their credit report to start deleting accounts from their credit reports. Credit Karma was the place to go. Okay, Credit Karma was definitely the place to go to be able to get your credit reports. Now, I'm going to go over the other ones, but I'm not going to say the name of the company. Definitely get the membership. You'll know exactly what the name of the company is. I just want to tell you further information about it. So number 3 on here, you're going to get access to your TransUnion credit score. And also it has credit monitoring and tips on improving your credit score. This is something where I use it just to get the emails, like alerts, because just in case one of these other companies fail to tell me something and I fail to look or see something, I want to know things right away. So number 3 is great if you want to see your TransUnion. And then number 4 is going to be great if you want to get free access to your FICO score. So number 4 is going to give you access to actual FICO score. If you want to purchase all 3 of your credit scores and credit reports there, you can for number 4. So that's great too. Number 5 is the unlimited one. It's just unlimited. You should be able to know what your credit score right then and there. So you can see on here what it says. You should be able to see your credit score right away. You should log into your account. You should see your credit score there. Or if you apply for anything, you should know what your credit score is, because they're going to, especially if they deny you, they're going to say, hey, your credit score was this one, we denied you. That's so you can see what your credit score is. Number 6 don't necessarily give you your credit scores, but it give you your credit reports for free. And number 7 is actually going to give you your TransUnion credit score and your credit report. And then again, it's going to give you tips on how to improve your credit. So always make sure you check your credit score regularly to stay on top of your financial health. These platforms provide a great starting point to for monitoring and improving your credit. And keep in mind too, you guys, like you can get apps. These things can be apps on your phone. You can be able to look at your credit score. If for some reason you don't want to overthink it, you just need to know where to go for free. My honest opinion is this: when it come down to just looking at your credit score, you want to know what it just is, the roundabout thing. I have the Experian app. I just look at my Experian on there for free, and then I have Credit Karma for sure. I can get my credit scores for free and my credit reports. I can see what's on it for free using these apps. So Credit Karma can give you TransUnion, Equifax, and then Experian app can give you Experian. There you go. You got all 3 of them, and that's for those people that want to have free access to their credit score. Yeah, you have all of these different options. It's 7 different points here. You have 7 of them here, but we talking totally free. We're talking Credit Karma and we're talking Experian app. And I want you guys just to know that, because that's what I do. If I want to just look at my credit score, I have the notifications. I usually don't allow notifications for apps, but I allow notifications for Experian. But Experian is starting to be on some bullcrap in terms of they sending me stuff that don't even make any, like, I don't care about. Like, tell me stuff with my credit. Like, y'all trying to market to me. I don't like that kind of stuff. But allow notifications for the Credit Karma and the Experian, and you'll be able to see if there's anything that's happening to your credit reports. So if you want to just make sure you just get this done, you don't want to overthink it. You're not necessarily like you don't care about like seeing all your credit scores these different places. You're like, Rickita, I just need to see my credit scores. Definitely look on Credit Karma and look on the Experian app. If you just have that, you'll be good, because you'll know what your credit score is. So hopefully this was helpful. Make sure, if you don't already, make sure you guys get the Credit 101 membership. It is down below. It's $1 for the first 7 days. I have over 40 different downloads available within the membership. And don't forget, you got the 206 episodes that is actually the Credit 101. You guys have that without actually seeing ads, which is amazing. So definitely check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Hey, welcome to the best episodes of Credit 101. This is episode 9, where we're going to talk about how you guys can boost your credit score fast. So I have something called 60 points in 60 days, where we go over really buckling down on all of these different things I'm going to go over, so that you guys can get 60 points in 60 days. And this is what I personally used to do, and I still do too. When it's time for me to apply for something, I go through this list and I go over this worksheet now that I created for you. This is something I would just make sure that I go over, just to make sure that I have everything in order before I apply for something. I just hate when people just apply for things and they don't make sure their credit is the best, and then they wonder why they can't get approved for things. Okay, so make sure you guys look at this different worksheet. If you guys are in the course already, thank you so much. Download the worksheet down below and actually do this. Every time you about to apply for something, actually go over this worksheet to make sure that all your things are in order. And if you guys do not have the course, it's the Credit 101 course. It has over 200 plus videos. It also have over 40 downloadables where it's going to be dispute letters our person created for this course. You have worksheets, checklists, and guides. So definitely check it out. Now let's actually look at the first two things that you guys need to go over. And I'm going to give details as to why you guys need to go over these two things and make sure they're in order. Some people just think that they can just apply. Again, you don't want to do that. You want to be calculated. Now, the first thing is make sure you guys pay all of your bills on time. So paying all your bills on time is going to be very, very important because it's 35% of your credit score. Okay. The thing I always tell people to do is make sure you guys set up automatic payments and reminders for all your bills. And not or two, you can do either or. I have it on worksheet, but if you want to be very strict like I am, you want to do both. I have automatic payments for the minimum payments on all of my credit cards. That's one of the basic things that I do. I have all automatic payments for the minimum payments on all my credit cards. I have the utilization sheet that I showed you all and I have available for you guys too. You guys can be able to search utilization sheets on YouTube. You should be able to find the link for that. Let me know in the comments if you cannot find it too. But I have all my credit cards in order in terms of like the due date. So I'll know exactly what's the due date for all of them. And I go in there and make sure all of them are paid. So I list my credit cards multiple times because my biggest thing in the past was late payments, but I was stupid with it. Like I would have the money to pay it and I'm like, I can't pay the whole thing. So I won't even pay the minimum. It's like, girl, pay at least the minimum. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I really don't, honestly. But this is years ago. Now I don't mess around though. Also on my budget, my credit cards are also on my budget. So I use my credit cards to pay all my bills. I'm not using my debit card for anything. I use my credit cards to pay all of my bills, and then I have all my credit cards on my budget, and then I rotate them depending on what's going on. And when I say rotate them, I use them for different things because you get 2% back on this one, you might get 5% back on that one. So I use different credit cards for different things. So I just know when they're due, I just go in there and I pay the statement balance. Even though the minimum payment is already going to be there, I go in and pay the statement balance. And I like to do that like in the beginning of the month, or sometimes say if I'm like that at the end of the month, I'll go in and pay everything for next month because I know it's going to be due anyway. All my statement balances are there. Like my last credit card that I have due for my for me personally is my Apple credit card, and that's like on the 30th. After that credit card statement come out, I'm going and paying everything for next month already because it's just easier for me to do it that way. And I have it within my budget, and that's on a spreadsheet also. So I just go down the list, make sure everything is paid, and I highlight it. And I copy. I have a spreadsheet, and I actually copy that spreadsheet to the next month, and I turn everything back white. And then I go in. Once you see it highlighted blue, that means it's going to be technically paid. That means I done paid it already. And when a credit card is highlighted blue, that means I done paid the statement balance. Minimum payment to me do not consider a payment. I don't consider that as a paid for bill unless I know like I messed up or something. Like you don't have the money for it. And I'm never trying to put myself in that situation. But I literally make sure that it's highlighted blue when the statement balance is paid. Minimum payment to me is not payment because you're paying interest on the credit cards, and I don't want to do that. If you do have late payments, then definitely want to look into some goodwill letters on Rickita.com. I do have late payment removal letters that you guys can definitely get. If you guys need help with goodwill letters, that's to remove the late payments. Definitely let me know. But payment history is going to be very, very important. So if you got late payments, please remove those late payments, and also just make sure everything is set up on auto pay. If you have not done this yet, like literally stop, pause the video, and just set up auto pay for everything. And it's so easy too because they use what's the plaid plate, whatever you call it. They use that for to set up auto payments on all of our credit cards. So definitely make sure you guys do that. Now, the next thing is lower your utilization. To me, y'all, this right here is so underrated. Like people don't think of how important it is to make sure that your utilization is very low. So your credit utilization should be your credit utilization is going to be 30% of your credit score basically. Now they tell people to have their utilization 30% or below. I personally don't believe in that 30% thing. I believe in 5% when I'm applying for a credit card. The only way I would think it's okay to have a 30% utilization is if you got 0% APR credit cards, then I can see it. Okay. And now another time too, and let me say this too before I get into my whole spiel onto why this is important. Now, I did have an instance where I had to sue a company and I had 0% APR credit cards, and I applied for credit cards because when I sue, I have to show damages, and my damages, I cannot get approved for credit cards because of this account that's on my credit report. So in that instance, it did happen. Okay. That instance, I did apply for something, but then I think that's a different thing. Okay. And you can still get approved. You might mess around and be like, why y'all give me a credit card? Why you give me a credit card? I was not supposed to get a credit card. You guys will give it to me. I have seen you can get approved for credit cards where I think I had got credit cards at like a 50-60% utilization sometimes. But still, if you want the highest limit, you want to make sure you're going to get approved for this credit card, not just getting approved, but you want a nice limit, please lower your utilization. Is going to be very, very important. Now, to make sure you guys lower utilization, you need to see what your total limits are. And you can go to me, my best thing is I like to just go to Credit Karma, or I really don't need to really go to Credit Karma because I have all of my things on my spreadsheet that is a utilization tracker, so I can play with the numbers. So I just put what's my total limits on there. They'll tell me, hey, whatever my total limits of all of my credit cards added up, they'll tell me what that is, and then I'll plug in whatever my balance was, and I will get that from Credit Karma because Credit Karma is gonna be the most up to date on that. I don't have to play the game of going to this website, all these different websites. I don't know what my balance is by just going to Credit Karma and just plugging it all in, and then I'll know the spreadsheet tell me what my actual utilization is. But if you want to know on your end, all you have to do is whatever your total balance is, divide that by your limits, and then multiply that by 100, and then that's where your utilization is going to be. Again, I want that number at 5% or below. That's to me the best. But 30% can be fine. But guess what? If you pre-qualify for these credit cards, again, you can do that on my website, Rickita.com. I already told you you can get the goodwill letters from there. But Rickita.com, if you guys go there, it's a list there where you can pre-qualify for credit cards. If you pre-qualify for it, you can come back after they give you a denial saying, hey, we couldn't pre-qualify you. They're going to tell you why in the mail. And if they say, hey, you have high limit to high balance to limit ratios, they may say things like that, high utilization. If they say that, then lower your utilization and then go back and apply. But at least you'll know. Now, those are only two things. You have multiple things on this list, so definitely just follow all the different things that's on this list and don't overthink it. Like, literally, what's on the list is on the list. Do exactly what it says, and then once you do everything, I'm a highlighting person. I don't know, it just makes me so much happier just to highlight stuff, just to say it's done. Like, okay, I already did number one, or I don't have any late payments, or I sent out goodwill letter, that's good. Okay, I'm lowering my utilization, or already lower my utilization, that's good. Then I'll go number three. Okay, I got number three done. Okay, good. Number four, oh yeah, I already got that done. Highlight that, good. 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I said, okay, let me go and apply for credit cards at this time. And don't forget to, this sheet right here, it tells you more details, but you do have a checklist, which is on episode 2. So episode 2, you'll see the checklist, or it's going to be the best episodes of Credit 101. Episode 1, I created a checklist so you can just check it all off before you apply for credit cards or any type of accounts. Just check everything off. But I hope this is going to be helpful. Make sure you guys get the Credit 101 course if you don't have it already. If you guys have the course and you're watching me within the course, download it down below. Don't overthink it. Like, literally just print it out and do what's on there, and then call it a day and apply for the credit cards that you want. If for some reason you don't have the late payments off, you still got negative accounts, you can pre-qualify for credit cards without a hard inquiry. So don't overthink it. Let them tell you no. And if they tell you no and say, hey, these are the reasons, and you knew they wasn't done on here, it is what it is. Fix them. Then you say, okay, you don't like that, let me fix it. But you may mess around and get some credit cards, because that happened to me plenty of times. So definitely do that. And if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey, welcome to episode 10 of the best episodes of Credit 101. In this episode, we're going to talk about the credit report error identification checklist that I created for the people that's part of membership. Maybe you're already in a membership and you're actually watching this video now. And if you are already in a membership, go ahead and download it. It's down below. This is what it looks like. We're going to go over it now, but go ahead and download it below. If you don't have a membership, it's only $1 to get in for the first 7 days. And at the time of recording this, it's only $9.99 a month, like less than $10. And I have over 40 downloads. I just really want to make sure that people have their credit together before the new year. That's really the goal. So let's get into this identification checklist on your credit reports, because you need to find errors. So we already talked about the FCRA. It's so many episodes, we're going to get deeper into it, certain rights and certain laws and things like that. So since we already talked about that, I need you guys to know how to point out these errors or find information that could be wrong on your credit report, so we can basically put it in our dispute letter. You need to know why it's wrong or what could possibly be wrong. So let's actually get into it. I don't want to waste too much time. So this is the actual checklist. So let's go through everything that's on the checklist. So the first thing is personal information. Make sure that your name is spelled correctly. If you guys see additional names on your credit reports, maybe you'll see that when you get your credit report for Identity IQ, you will see that for Experian, they got 4 different names for you. You want to make sure that they have your name exactly how it is on your ID, on your credit report, your address. And then once you have that done, with any of these errors right here, you have to call the credit bureaus and correct it. So once you have these done, go ahead and start checking them off. And then you can circle to what you need to call about or put a date next to it. But you need to make sure you're really checking this off, guys. That's why I want you guys to actually download this. Don't just look at it like you need to use this for real and check it off. Make sure your credit report is good. So we talked about the name. Now with the address, you need to make sure that you have your current address on there and any previous address. I'll say if you didn't have any negative accounts on there, yeah, it can possibly stay on there. But any of those unknown addresses, or if you had negative accounts on certain addresses, maybe you need to get those addresses removed from your credit reports. You really just need that one address, honestly. And all additional addresses, call the credit bureaus. And if it's an unknown address, say, hey, I have an address on here that's not even mine. It shouldn't be on my credit report. And they should remove it right then and there. Now, Experian will give you a problem if you guys... They'll give you a problem if you have accounts tied to that address, but definitely call them to remove it. Social security number. Is the last 4 digits of your social security number accurate? Maybe they have a different social security number. Maybe they have multiple ones on there. Make sure you call them to get this stuff corrected. Your date of birth, is that correct? The month, year, and the day. Okay, so make sure this is correct. Sometimes a month and a year is correct, but they don't have the correct day. But that needs to get corrected, so correct that. And then your employment. Is your current employer listed correctly? Also, sometimes you may have previous employers on there. You may want to just call them to get that removed. And you can still call. Let me look at y'all when I tell y'all this, because this is big and I don't know if this is necessary. Some people, if you guys are trying to, no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Let me say it this way then. If you guys have garnishments, if you're gonna get garnished, maybe you don't want to have your employer on your credit report because they can sue you. They'll know your employer. They can literally pull your credit report and know exactly where to sue you. That's what I was going to say. I'm not going to go into detail on that, but just maybe you want to call them and ask them to remove your employer. Not saying any reason why it should. Just say, hey, I see this on there too. I want to have it removed. You could possibly say it like that. But if y'all know y'all finna get y'all wages garnished, y'all going through all these different things, and maybe y'all need to remove y'all employer, seriously, because that's how they're gonna find out where you work at to even get you garnished. Okay, that's all I had to say. I didn't want to say it, but it's out there. The account information, your trade lines. Is there any of them that you don't recognize? Is it the account status incorrect? Some of them may say closed when they're actually open, or some of them may say open when they actually close. Is the payment history correct? Yeah, they say your account is 30 days late, 60 days late, 90 days late, but do they repeat any months? Is there any months that's missing where it'll say 30 days late, 60, 90, and then the next month don't say anything, and then they go right to 150 days? Is it errors like that? Is the balance incorrect, or do you have any duplicate accounts? Now, listen, our credit reports have to be 100% correct. So if you want to find out a reason why accounts should be deleted, find something. The balance is incorrect, or they need to correct it or delete it. That's the two options. And a lot of times they don't correct these things. So I mean, if you didn't correct it, you need to delete it. The payment history, correct it or delete it. And they're not correcting it correctly. So what should they do? They should delete it. Duplicate accounts, there's no reason for duplicate accounts. They need to correct that, delete it. I mean, correct it or delete it. Either or, like right away. Look at your bankruptcy, see if all of them are reporting the same, because sometimes you may not know like the correct numbers that should be in there, or you may not know exactly like what's the dates of any of that, but you can see if there's errors across all three credit bureaus. So see if there is an error, like, oh, well, TransUnion says this and Equifax says this. Like, how is it possible when it's the same bankruptcy? Check the status of it, whether it's discharged or not. So that's going to be a big one. If it should say discharged and it doesn't, that can be a problem. You can have that updated. Inquiries, is any of them over 2 years? So you got old inquiries. You want to see if it's any inquiries you don't recognize, because if it is something that you don't recognize, you need to call them and tell them to remove those inquiries from your credit report, and make sure you have a freeze on your credit report for sure. Now, when it comes down to these collections, is there any collections basically that you don't recognize? Look at the last date of activity on those collections. Look on whether it says settle or pay. Look at the amounts. Maybe they have an incorrect amount. So look at these different things. But the next step is make sure that you contact the credit bureaus about these different errors. We have dispute letters, and actually episode 11 is when we go into the actual summary and the guide. So it's a guide where I tell you like your different rights, such as you have a right to get your credit report, and this is the actual statute. Because I'm in school right now, basically, to make sure I become a lawyer for things like this. So I put certain statutes on here. So definitely use this guide if you guys have different errors. And then also episode 12, we're going to actually reviewing the errors on your credit report, going even further. It's another checklist that you guys can use. Maybe you don't like this one, maybe you want to use another one. And then episode 13 and 14, we actually have dispute letters. So if you see those errors, use the dispute letters to actually to actually correct them. And make sure you contact the creditor. But remember, you got to send a letter to the credit bureaus first. So we have to send a letter to the credit bureaus first. Then we can send a letter to the actual creditor or collector. So again, episode 13 and 14, episode 14 really got a whole package of letters in there. So I would just say go to episode 14, use that dispute letter, list the accounts, and put the reason. Remember we said things on here, hey, the account number is incorrect, the balance is incorrect. Put that on your dispute letter and then tell them to delete it. Okay. So that's basically all we have to talk about for this episode. But this is our identification checklist. Literally, this is how y'all can find y'all errors, because sometimes y'all get overwhelmed looking at y'all full credit report. But if y'all can just literally look on here and just start checking stuff off and then handling what you see that's wrong, you'll get a lot of stuff done. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. If you don't have the membership yet, go ahead and get it down below. It's $1 trial for the first 7 days. And at the time of this recording, again, it's $9.99. So get in why it is still very, very low, because it is so much stuff in here. I know the price is going to eventually go up, but make sure you guys get in right away. And if you guys already have membership, download it. You're watching it now, just go ahead and download it and print it out and start checking everything off. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey, welcome to episode 11 of the best episodes of Credit 101. The original episode for this was actually episode 30 of Credit 101. Again, it's over 200 episodes. It's 206 episodes of Credit 101 to be exact. So make sure you guys definitely check that out. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. in the comments, or if you guys have the course, leave me a comment within the course and I'll make sure I answer it for you. Now, to me, this is one of the top episodes because we need to understand our rights to an accurate credit report. I know we're not really talking in Credit 101 just about disputing, but this is a big part of credit. If something is not right, you need to know what it is, like, and what's your rights to it. Now, I do have a disclaimer, so let me make sure I read it. And we're going to go over this full, because I actually created a full 40-page, 4 pages guide that you guys need to go over. But I want to go over it all the way with you because this is very, very important. And I'd rather this information be out there for everybody, but download it because I actually have the real statutes on there. And I'm in school right now. To be a lawyer, I'm working my way to actually being an attorney and be a lawyer. So I actually put the statutes on there for my personal use also. So let me actually read my disclaimer because we gotta make sure I say my disclaimer. I don't want any problems out of anybody. So I am not an attorney, and this guide is not intended to provide legal advice. This summary is for informational purposes only, and you should consult with a legal professional if you need specific advice about your rights. So if you need specific advice about your rights, you need to make sure you contact an attorney. I am not your attorney, okay? So definitely let's go over all these different things because it is a lot. If you guys have questions, put them down below in the comments. And if you guys don't have the Credit 101 course, it's $1 trial to start. Literally go down below in the description and in the comments and get the trial. Go ahead and get the trial for 7 days and stay. It's only $9.99 a month. You have over 40 downloads. This is one of them. And to me, this right here is worth more than $10. So I love, love, love the course. So the first thing is you need to understand that all of our rights are under FCRA. Okay, that's the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It provides consumer with several key protections. So we have a right to actually access our credit reports. So we are entitled to request a copy of our credit reports from each of the main 3 credit bureaus every 12 months. But since we have had the 2020 incident, y'all know what I mean, a big bang in 2020, we're still able to get our credit reports every week. So if you've been denied for credit or you face some adverse action, like they gave you higher interest rates on your credit cards, then you're entitled to a copy of your credit reports before that 12 months. So if we go back to that 12 months, just know when you are denied for credit, they're required to give you a copy of that credit report so you can see exactly what's the problems. You don't necessarily have to pay for a copy of your credit reports. Okay, we have a right to dispute inaccuracy. So if you do see something is inaccurate on our credit report, the bureaus must investigate our claim, correct or remove any errors within 30 days. So that is one of our rights. If we send them a letter, they got to make sure that they remove this account from the credit reports, correct this account, and they have to do it within 30 days, but they have to respond too. Them not responding is not that's not good either. It falls upon that too, that they're not responding because they had to do it within 30 days. We have the right to know when your credit report is used. So we have the right to know when our information is given out, basically, and what is it used for? Is it for a lender, a landlord, employer? So we have a right to know about this. We have a right to be notified of the name of the credit bureau that supplied this report too. And this usually comes from when you like apply for a credit card, when you apply for a home, and you apply for a home, we have a right, and they usually gonna put that in our denial to say, hey, we pulled TransUnion, your credit score was 680. They're basically letting you know that at that time too. We have a right to limit access. So we can say who can actually get a copy of our credit report. Everybody just can't get a copy of our credit report. And we can also place a freeze on our credit report. We talked about that within the membership, placing a freeze on your credit report so you can prevent identity theft. These are rights that we have, you guys. And also we had a right to correct negative information. So any negative information that's on our credit report, we have to write for it. Late payments are usually going to stay on for about 7 years. Collections, 7 years from the date of delinquency. Bankruptcies, 10 years for Chapter 7, 7 years for Chapter 13. when it comes down to judgments and tax liens, these can no longer be on your credit report. And if these are on your credit report, judgments or tax liens, I gave you guys a free letter within the course. Look in the course and you'll see a copy of the free letter that you guys can use to remove those from your credit reports. But I gave you a free letter, multiple free letters too, for the other accounts like late payments, bankruptcies, collections, charge off. I gave you free letters for that also. But some of the common errors can be our personal information, like our incorrect names, address, social security numbers, accounts that don't belong to us that we didn't even open at all, a duplicate account. So duplicate account, they mean that they have the same account listed more than once. It's double jeopardy, y'all. Like, y'all hitting us twice. That's what I'm thinking about. So accounts that's listed as open when they're actually closed, and vice versa. They got accounts listed as closed, but it's actually open. That's an error. Payments marked as late when they're actually paid on time. Paid or settled collections still showing as unpaid. And again, tax liens, judgments, and bankruptcies reporting incorrectly or listed incorrectly. So that's something. Now, you guys make sure that you guys, if you want to dispute an error, all you have to do is gather all your information, submit a dispute. Well, I necessarily wouldn't suggest us to submit it online, but you could mail a dispute letter. Make sure that you guys check out the dispute letters that we have in the course, and then make sure you guys follow it up and do a CFPB complaint if you have to. If they continue to not remove it, do like I did, sue them. Okay, the simple as that. Get an attorney for that, or just do some of your research. Now, how long could this negative account stay on our credit reports? We kind of already talked about how long they're gonna stay on our credit reports for. So if you deny for any, so if your dispute is denied or they reject it, errors or whatever, then you have a right to reach out to the company that provided this inaccurate information. And that's why I say, like, when you want to talk to a collection company or you want to talk to them about an account that they're disputing, you got to dispute with the credit bureaus first. Once it come back verified, then you can talk to the collection company. That's something that you need to know. And then you have to understand that if the bureau does not correct the issue, then you can add a statement to your credit report. But to me, if they don't correct the issue, I'm not adding no statement, because these companies don't care about statements. They think that it's just all a lie. I'm going to personally sue and get this account deleted, period. So if the credit bureaus fail to resolve the issue, then make sure you file a complaint also with the CFPB. So again, maintain an accurate credit report. Look at your credit reports. We have every year we can get a copy of our credit report for free. You can get a copy of a free credit score too from aura.com/Rickita. They have a 14-day free trial with Aura. And then make sure you just check for errors. As soon as you see errors, just make sure you do something right away about these errors. Do not let these errors just sit on your credit report, because it's going to affect you in the end when you're applying for a credit card. You're not going to get good credit cards. You're not going to get the good 0% APR credit cards for 20 months. You're not going to get stuff like that. You're not going to get credit cards that offer you cash back, no annual fees. You're not getting those cards. So make sure you guys have the best credit score possible so that you can get these different cards. And I want to make sure I go over the full document, because this is necessary, you guys. You need to know these different statutes, like, for real. And maybe I'll start showing more things about this. But again, I'm not an attorney, consult with an attorney. But once I learned this stuff, y'all, this really changed my life. So I want to teach it to you all. But this is only episode 11 of Credit 101, the best episodes of Credit 101. Let's go over some more of the different episodes. If you do not have the membership, go ahead and get the membership. It's $1 trial down below for 7 days. And then also, if you're in a membership, download this. You're going to need this document, especially if you have negative accounts. So definitely download it so you can have it handy. See you guys in the next one. Hey, welcome to episode 12 of the best episodes of Credit 101. The original episode for Credit 101 is actually episode 32. Now, I created a different checklist. This is a checklist that maybe you want to just print out in just one page. It's not so detailed as the original checklist that I did create for you guys. That checklist was actually for episode 10. This is like a miniature one. It's a one pager. I like it. Something that you can just print out and you can just keep checking. You know how I say every 3 months or every month you should be checking your credit, or every year. Decide when you're going to be checking it. This is something that you can just have to just check off and make sure all your accounts is good. So you don't have to overthink it. Maybe you don't want to continue to go deep. Maybe you're going to forget certain steps when it comes down to checking credit. this checklist can help you make sure that you stay on track. If you guys are watching this because you're already in a membership, go ahead and download it. Keep a copy of it, you guys. You're going to need it. You're going to need to continue to check your credit. I know, like me, I'm seeing so many credit reports. I can just skim through it and I can already see different errors. I can just see if there's something wrong. But if you're not always looking at it, then you need to have a checklist. And that's what this checklist is good for. And if you guys are not in a membership, and you can't just download it down below like the people that's in the membership, go ahead and get the membership. It's $1 for the first 7 days, and it's a $9.99 monthly fee for it. It's less than $10 a month, literally. So go ahead, and that's at the time recording. Let me say that because it's going to go up, because there's no way this should be $9.99. We're talking over 40 different downloads. We're talking personalized dispute letters, debt validation letter. We're talking about a lot of good stuff that you may pay $50 for by yourself. So I know it's cheap right now because I want people to have their credit together before the new year. Y'all have everything. Go ahead and download it. I have the link down below. Let's go over this guide. Now, with this guide, this checklist, you guys can use a simple checklist to basically review what's on your credit report. These can be regular checks to make sure that everything is good, you don't have any mistakes, and it's going to prevent issues, and from you, it's going to prevent you from hurting your credit in the future too. So make sure that you just go over this checklist. I would say at least every month. Okay. I know a lot of times, we're supposed to get our credit report every year. You can check it every year. But I just feel like if there's something wrong, you're gonna want to know about it right away. So I suggest you just check more often. Okay. So check to make sure your personal information is correct. Make sure that your full name is on here, and that's it. You don't want to have multiple names on your credit report. Check to make sure that you have your current and your previous addresses listed. Okay, with your social security number, make sure that the last 4 digits of your social security number is correct. And also with your date of birth, make sure your date of birth is accurate. And your employment history, make sure that it's current, or you have your past employers. In the last video, episode 10, I said, hey, if you think you're going to get sued, you're going to get garnished, be careful, because maybe you don't want to have your past employers on there. Go ahead and close the door, Chunk Chunk, and lock it. Now, the next one is you want to review the accounts and trade lines on your credit reports. So the account ownership, are all of your accounts yours? Do you have any authorized accounts that shouldn't be on there? Is the account status correct? The accounts that say open, are they really open? The accounts that say closed, are they really closed? The payment history, is it correct? Do you have any late payments on there? Do you have any late payments that's wrong? These are the different things you should look at. If you don't have late payments, but you should have one, we're not worried about that. Okay, we worry about what's there that shouldn't be there, or that we don't really want to be there. The balance and the limits, are those accurate? You want to make sure that the balance that's reporting to these accounts are correct, and then also the limits are correct too. And then check the public records, check for the bankruptcy, see if you have any tax liens or judgments. We talked about how tax liens and judgments should not be on your credit report. And also within the membership, I created a letter that you guys can send in if you do have tax liens or any judgments. So go ahead and download that letter. And are the public records showing correctly or incorrectly, especially with those bankruptcies? These are things that you should look for. Also, review your inquiries. Those hard inquiries, those are ones where you actually do a full-on credit application, the ones that you authorize. Are there any inquiries on there that shouldn't be on there? You never apply for Capital One, but for some reason you got a Capital One inquiry from 4 months ago. That's something you need to call the credit bureaus and tell them they need to remove it because you did not authorize it. Also, with soft inquiries, and these are for those things that don't affect the credit score. These things you may not see when you really pull your credit report, the soft inquiries. Those are for those credit cards that say you can pre-qualify you without a hard inquiry. That's what that is. Those soft inquiries, usually you're not going to even see it. You really don't have to worry about those too much. Now, collections and charge-offs. If you have collections and charge-offs, you just need to be ready to fight. And I'm being honest, because you don't want collections and charge-off really on your credit reports. And a lot of times with these collections and charge-off, you could possibly sue them and get these accounts off your credit reports. That's what I did. So that's why I always say you want to get ready to fight them, because you could possibly just get it removed. Are they paid? Are they unpaid? Are they even yours? Are the amounts listed correct, especially for those collections and the charge-offs too? Sometimes you'll see that maybe you had a Capital One account, maybe they sold it to Midland or something, you will see that they didn't even update the balance on Capital One end. They still got the balance the same. So now this new company, Midland Collection Company, asking you for money, and they asking for the same exact amount that Capital One still reporting. Like, did the charge off not report correctly? Like, are they supposed to be reporting zero balance? Look for these different things and make sure you guys dispute any errors. So if you find any mistakes, file a dispute with the credit bureaus. And then make sure you guys keep all your records, save copies of all your reports or any disputes. If you guys have to do disputes, you guys, we have dispute letters within this membership. But really, disputes, we go over it in particular. If you want to really dive deep and you want to know about like how I sued Midland or how to set up these different things, these things are really inside of my exclusive credit membership. But you guys have dispute letters in here, and actually in the next episode 13 and 14, you got a dispute letter that you can technically send to the credit bureau. So you have this is the dispute letter. I have all of the documents and stuff that's inside the membership. I print them all out here so I can look at them while I'm recording these videos for you all. But you had a dispute letter, so if you see something that's incorrect, send a dispute letter in about it. And not only do you want to send out dispute letters for personal information, you need to just call the credit bureaus up. Inquiries, you need to just call them up. If you know for sure that you have an inquiry that should not be on your credit report, you really do not authorize it, and they do not want to remove it, like you call the credit bureaus and tell them to remove it, maybe you need to send out a letter certified mail. Anything you send them, you need to send a certified mail, because they're going to lie and say that they never got it. So you need to send it certified mail, and maybe you want to consult with an attorney and talk about permissible purpose, how you did not possibly give them authority. Not possibly, you did not give them authority to pull your credit reports. And how you have these fraudulent inquiries that should be removed from your credit reports. Don't forget, inquiries do drop and lower your credit score. And I did see denials talking about inquiries. So this is a big thing. So get the dispute letters. If you see anything wrong, go ahead and fix it. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. Download that form if you guys are watching this in the membership. If you don't have a membership, like, what are you waiting on? It's $1 for 7 days. Not only is it $1 for 7 days, it's less than $10 a month. It's no excuse. You got so much stuff in here. I'll see you guys in the next video.